Hey everybody, I'm Josh ET, it's freaking cold outside, and it's time for the Anime Review Show. This week's series was recommended to me by my friend Chelsea, who some of you know as Ales Noir Cosplay Photography, link to her channel over here, and she recommended the show Beyond the Boundary to me, so I thought I would check it out. Now, Beyond the Boundary is kind of a supernatural action show, dealing with a world where particular poltergeist-like beings called Yoma exist, and unique individuals called Spirit World Warriors who hunt them. And the show is centered around Akihiko, who is a half-human, half-Yoma, and Mirai, a young, fledgling Spirit World Warrior who has a rather unique and, according to some, cursed power. Now, right away when we're introduced to the Yoma and the Spirit World Warriors, I immediately cried Bleach, because it was kind of the exact same thing as, you know, Shinigami and Hollows. And I'm not saying it's like an exact copy, I'm just saying the themes are very similar, and, you know, Bleach wasn't the first one to do this, obviously. Spirit-themed animes have been a big thing for a long time now. Yu Yu Hakusho, Shaman King, there's tons of them. But I really just felt in the delivery of this and how, you know, the Yoma are hunted by the Spirit World Warriors, it really just reminded me a lot of Bleach. Now that's just to say that the themes are the same. When we get into the characters, it's already vastly different, and it's probably the thing I like best about this show. The characters are very mature, despite, you know, it being a high school setting like many animes. But the characters have a very mature sense of humor. One of the reoccurring jokes already is the idea that all of them have some sort of weird fetish. Akihiko's being glasses, and this is a point that he is constantly putting at Mirai, who is a bespectacled girl. He constantly refers to her as a bespectacled beauty and just keeps driving home that point, not only with her, but with other girls in his life. And I found this to be a really great break from the usual kind of humor you find in anime. It felt like it kind of, you know, kicked it up into the next age bracket of humor, and I really appreciated that. Also, the show has a very fluid and flourishy type of combat. Whenever a fight happens, with Mirai for example, special ability to manipulate her blood often will be manifest as a blade that she uses. And she never just does, like, you know, one clean stroke or one clean cut. There's always a bit of, you know, extra flourish with her blade movements. And this was, you know, cool to watch. It was, you know, its own thing, its own style. And that kind of flourish with combat carries through to other people. Even the people who would kind of consider to have more spellcaster abilities, they find a way to make them more flourishy, and I really enjoyed watching that. It's a cool action style. Another thing I did like about the show was how they are using the Yoma. They are not just straight out antagonists, they're not all evil. They treat them almost as if they are a separate species, because right away we are introduced to human Yoma, who are like completely benign, and in fact help the Spirit World Warriors in their own endeavor. But again, I couldn't help keep connecting things to Bleach, especially once we were introduced to our first, you know, big protagonist, which is actually called the Hollow Shadow. I kind of like immediately thought, like, this must be a nod to Bleach, or they're just not seeing their own connection, which was fine. I mean, it is its own thing. In my kind of personal rating system, ranging from give it a complete pass to you're gonna watch this 10 times over and then some, this show falls in what I like to call the once over, and that you should definitely watch it, but you're only gonna need to watch it once to say that you have seen it and go, oh, that was cool and I liked that. But it's probably not going to be a show you're going to come back to a bunch of times, but still really fun to watch. That is what I have to say about Beyond the Boundary. Again, thanks to Ales Noir for the recommendation. If I have piqued your interest, go watch the show for yourself and tell us what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you see the kind of same connections to other supernatural themed anime? Or do you think it really stands on its own? You can let us know what you thought by commenting or hitting us up on Facebook or Twitter. That is it for this week's Anime Review Show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.